King Charles III enjoys living a pampered lifestyle according to the new claims made in Omid Scobie's latest book. Scobie alleges that His Majesty has his shoelaces ironed for him to keep them looking pristine. Additionally, Charles allegedly travels with perfectly steamed 1,000 thread count bedsheets to ensure maximum comfort when away from home. His bedtime routine also reportedly includes having a staff member squeeze exactly 1 inch of toothpaste onto his toothbrush, so he doesn't have to do this tedious task himself. These luxuries paint a picture of a monarch accustomed to an extravagant degree of service from royal attendants dedicated to catering to his every need and preference. While such specific demands may seem quite frivolous, they speak to Charles's refined tastes and appreciation for details. However, this degree of service also suggests a certain level of privilege and removal from mundane activities required to care for oneself. The revelations come amidst existing tensions sparked by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Netflix documentary series, which offered an intimate look behind the palace gates. Charles was already reeling from his depiction in the show, which he felt revealed too much about private royal matters best kept from the public eye. Upon hearing details featured in the series, Charles is said to have called Harry "that fool" out of frustration over his son's candid admissions. The film brought headaches to the palace staff as they scrambled to control the narrative. Charles likely sees Scobie's book as further airing of dirty laundry better left packed away. Scobie has already carved out a reputation as sympathetic to Harry and Meghan through his flattering biographical work about the couple. His decision to spotlight Charles's indulgences and mockable lifestyle preferences won't score points with the monarch. However, Scobie seems intent on using inside access to offer a warts and all portrayal of the royal family, even if it ruffles feathers in the process. His boldness speaks to a fearlessness when pulling back the curtain on the posh peculiarities of royal routine. The author also recently made unkind assertions about Kate Middleton, casting her recent public appearances in an uncharitable light. Scobie dismissed Kate's steady growth into her public role as a senior royal, framing her incremental progress as underwhelming. He ungenerously asserts that she earns undeserved praise for modest achievements that wouldn't draw notice from other royals. A friend of Kate pushed back on this characterization as deeply unjust. But Scobie appears inclined to downplay Kate's evolution, arguing her strong public approval stems more from low expectations due to what he sees as the public's excessive coddling of her image. Scobie's book reportedly takes more shots at the royal family, including calling out Charles's parenting missteps with Harry and William. It also alleges growing collusion between William and scheming palace courtiers eager to undermine Harry through coordinated media leaks. The simmering competition between the outspoken spare hair and the subdued, duty-bound future monarch boils below the surface as William asserts his increasingly influential role. Charles may find it threatening for Scobie to highlight the king's anxiety over William's ascendance overshadowing his own legacy. The provocative book looks destined to become a conversation piece as Scobie pulls no punches during the royal gossip he has gathered. However, those in the crosshairs of his unsparing observations are unlikely to appreciate his willingness to expose their behind-the-scenes behaviors, preferences, and relationships to amplify public scrutiny. But for readers seeking an unfiltered insider perspective, Scobie certainly seems poised to deliver an eye-opening feast of palace intrigue. The costs of his bold journalistic access could well be permanently strained relationships with some of his princely sources. Yet the royal secrets being offered in exchange for such alienation have clearly proven too tempting for this intrepid reporter to keep concealed. In the book, Scobie makes the incendiary accusation that King Charles I secretly schemed against his younger son Prince Harry and deliberately turned a blind eye as palace aides leaked damaging details about Harry to the media. Specifically, Scobie points to an incident in 2002 when stories surfaced in the now-defunct tabloid News of the World about Prince Harry's drug use and underage drinking. Scobie asserts that King Charles, who was Prince Charles at the time, took advantage of the situation and allowed his own aides to further leak embarrassing personal information about Harry in order to portray Charles as a caring father who arranged for his wayward son to have a short, sharp shock by visiting a rehab facility. This calculated media strategy, Scobie argues, was designed solely to construct a redemption narrative for Charles and paint him as a great dad who stepped up to steer his son back onto the right path. In making this explosive claim, Scobie directly contradicts the long-held denial by Prince Harry himself that his father or brother ever actively briefed the media against him or authorized negative leaks. If true, it would essentially label both Charles and Prince William as abusive relatives who threw Harry under the bus for their own public image interests. Needless to say, such an incendiary accusation, even if somewhat speculative on Scobie's part, is likely to cause enormous dismay for the new monarch. Beyond just the leaking allegations, though, Scobie's new book also aims to present a broader case against the existing royal family, portraying them as a decaying, directionless institution desperately clinging to power in the aftermath of Queen Elizabeth II's death. Scobie pointedly notes that some unnamed palace aides apparently harbored significant doubts about whether Charles was truly up to the task of becoming king. And the author hints starkly that the ruthless media manipulation around Harry in 2002 is part of a longer pattern of toxic, self-interested behavior that continues to the present day under King Charles III and Prince William. Specifically, Scobie slams Charles for failing to open up dialogue with Prince Harry even after his and Meghan's explosive Oprah interview and Netflix documentary directly criticized the monarch for failing to support them. Scobie presents this as clear evidence that Charles is a weak and indecisive leader incapable of managing complex family rifts or potential constitutional crises that could impact the crown. As for Prince William, Scobie alleges that he disliked Meghan Markle from the start and only grew closer to Harry for a period around his 2018 wedding as a useful public relations ploy to draw attention away from William's own reputational issues. But afterwards, Scobie asserts, William stepped back once he no longer found Harry's high-profile marriage useful as a distraction. In essence, Scobie attempts to paint both future kings as scheming and unscrupulous individuals who used Prince Harry when convenient for their own self-promotion or to diffuse media scrutiny around themselves. Taken together, Scobie clearly tries hard to present an image of the British royal family as corrupt, directionless, and desperate to hold on to public support at all costs following Queen Elizabeth's death. He hints that just as in 2002 with Harry, King Charles, and Prince William today allegedly rely on planting favorable media narratives and stoking patriotic jingoism almost in the heavy-handed style of former U.S. President Donald Trump. The overriding impression Scobie strives to leave is that the monarchy is damaged, out-of-touch goods, peddling an image of false unity and selfless duty to the British nation, while behind closed doors behaving as selfishly and ruthlessly as any Machiavellian political operator. Whether Scobie's claims are accurate or exaggerations grounded in his sympathy for Prince Harry's perspectives remains to be seen. But regardless, the allegations threaten to deal yet another major publicity blow the British royal family as they continue struggling to reinvent the monarchy for modern times. Scobie clearly takes a provocative adversarial position in trying to expose the royals as frauds peddling myths about their privilege, unity, and leadership. Only time will tell whether his incendiary claims open new fissures in the crown's already battered public image or lead to meaningful reform behind palace walls. But with King Charles II still finding his feet, Scobie's salacious book has undoubtedly landed like a live grenade on the House of Windsor as they work urgently to shore up confidence in the monarchy's future legitimacy and good faith. The royal family ignores Scobie's troubling allegations at their peril. Dear friend, if you like everything new about the royal family and don't want to miss all the novelties, subscribe to our channel and like it. By doing so, you take part in our development. We work for you.